Psalm 9 begins with a rousing burst of praise. I will give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of your wonderful deeds. I will sing the praises of your name, O Most High. I love the single-minded passion of this singer. He's bursting with gratitude to God for God's wonderful deeds and God's wonderful nature. Praising God's name is poetic shorthand for praising God for what he's like, his character and his heart. God is not a faceless bureaucracy. God reveals himself to us by his words and deeds. Principally, those deeds are his actions as creator of the natural world and his ongoing activity in sustaining it. His deeds also include acts in history and in the experience of the singer and his people as God protected them from their enemies. This opening verse is a great model for us, inviting us to start each day thanking God for who he is and for what he has done in the world and in our lives. At the same time, the poet is keenly aware of the dangers around him. In verse 13, he cries out, "O Lord, see how my enemies persecute me." But he has seen God defend him in the past, and so he calls out to God to act again on his behalf, and he is confident that in the end all will be well. He is so confident, in fact, that he sings as if it were already fait accompli. In verse 7, he sings, "The Lord reigns forever." The poet allows himself and invites us to imagine a world where God's reign is already in full force and unchallenged, where evil has been uprooted and eradicated from the world. He describes four features of such a world. Verse 8, society will be governed by righteous laws, upheld in perfect justice, with no special privileges for the rich and the famous. In verse 9, God will protect the vulnerable and be a champion for everyone who needs help. So, a world of safety and hospitality, especially for the disadvantaged. Verse 9 also speaks about God being a high tower in times of trouble, which pretty well describes our day with the world under siege from a microscopic virus, personal isolation, and economic upheaval. We all need a secure place of refuge. Then verse 10 shows this world under God's reign to be beautifully personal. Those who know your name will trust in you, for you never forsake those who seek you. The Message translation puts it this way: he keeps his eye on us. He registers our every whimper and moan. This is a world where God is not a distant or faceless bureaucrat, but an attentive guardian, a reliable friend or mentor who welcomes us all without exception into relationship with him. The world this song envisions, where laws are fair, where the vulnerable are protected, where upheaval is not overwhelming, and God is relational and worthy of our trust, I think that's the kind of world I'd like to live in. And it's not an escapist fantasy. The biblical vision can transform how we live in the real world today. We can fight with the weapons of a dog-eat-dog world, or we could adopt this vision of a world where God reigns. A later writer said, "Don't be conformed to the world around you, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds." Songs like Psalm 9 can renew our minds by inspiring us to live as if God actually does reign over everything, doing our work and treating people in a way that advances the prayer that Jesus taught us. "O Father, may your kingdom come. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven." One final insight from Psalm 9 is that it is an acrostic poem, with each verse or two beginning with the successive letters of the Hebrew alphabet, which is a subtle way of reminding us that nothing is outside God's alphabet of grace, that whatever life has to throw at us, God is Alpha and Omega, the A to Z, the one who encompasses the entire vocabulary of our lives with the strength of his name and his character. I pray that whatever letters characterize your day today, you will entrust yourself to the arms of the God who has never forsaken those who seek him out. Take care.